So just take a moment to settle wherever you are, whether it's sitting or lying, and allow your body to soften and settle in, sinking perhaps a little into the surface that you're resting against. And bringing the focus to the breath for a moment and checking the quality of the breath as it is now, as it presents itself now. The rhythm, the depth. And then if it feels okay to gently slow the breath consciously and deliberately, keeping it comfortable, but actually slowing down. Awareness as best you can on the breath and the slowing of the breath. And continuing to let the body soften and loosen. Just gently letting go. And checking in again with the quality of the breath. The rhythm that you found now. And perhaps the breaths are longer. And perhaps they're deeper. And if it feels okay to, just gently slow the breath further. And as you do so, just continue to soften the body, relax the muscles. And you might gently think, relax, relax, relax. Just letting go with each breath. And noticing the quality of the mind in this space. Is it noisy, busy and anxious? Or is the mind starting to settle too? And the thoughts quietening, perhaps becoming more gentle. And if they're not, don't force it, don't push thoughts away. And recognize any inclination to do so, or any frustration at yourself for not relaxing as you might feel you should. Just keep gently focusing on softening the breath, letting go. And just stay relaxing with the breath, allowing the body to loosen, to relax. And I'm just going to read from David Whyte's book of Consolations and the poem Beginning. Beginning well or beginning poorly. What is important is simply to begin. But the ability to make a good beginning is also an art form. Like picking up a new and unfamiliar musical instrument, the first necessary step involves taking the time to get a simple, clear note. Usually the simple, clear note of forgiveness that comes in allowing yourself the right at this stage not to know anything at all. Beginning anything well involves a clearing away of the confusing, the cluttered, and the complicated, to find the beautiful, often hidden lineaments of the essential and the necessary. Beginning is difficult, and our insulating rituals and the virtuoso subtleties of our methods of delay are always a fine, ever-present measure of our reluctance in taking that first close-in, courageous step to reclaiming the happiness of actually having started. Perhaps because taking a new step always begins from the central, foundational core of the body, a body we have neglected. Beginning well means seating ourselves in the body again, catching up with ourselves and the person we have become since we last tried to begin. This radical physical embodiment leads to an equally radical internal simplification, where suddenly very large parts of us we have kept gainfully employed for years, parts of us still rehearsing the old complicated story, are suddenly out of a job. There occurs, in effect, a form of internal corporate downsizing, where the parts of us too afraid to participate or having nothing new now to offer are let go, with all of the accompanying death-like trauma. And where the very last fight occurs, a rearguard disbelief that this new, less complicated self and this very simple step is all that is needed for the new possibilities ahead. It is always hard to believe that the courageous step is so close to us, that it is closer than we ever could imagine, that in fact we already know what it is, and that the step is simpler, more radical than we had thought. Just picking up the pen or the wood chisel, just picking up the instrument or the phone. Which is why we so often prefer the story to be more elaborate, our identities to be safely clouded by fear. Why we want the horizon to remain always in the distance, the promise never fully and simply made, the essay longer than it needs to be, and the answer safely in the realm of impossibility. And if you wish to, just take a moment to let those words settle. And if you wish to, ask any inquiry of yourself that you might following that. Perhaps there's a sense of recognition of yourself in some of those words, or perhaps not. Perhaps there's something useful to take forward in your life. See what's true for you. A moment of reflection. And checking back in with the quality of the breath. Being curious to the raw sensational experience that you encounter. Is there a feeling tone to simply witnessing the breath? Sense of pleasant or unpleasant, or simply okay? And from the space of the breath, just focus your attention and awareness on the experience of the jaw and the mouth. Feeling for any tension, tightness. And see if it's possible to get a sense of the jaw and the mouth from within. So there's no feedback to thought. But simply an open, conscious awareness of the experience of the jaw of the mouth from the jaw and the mouth. Feeling from this location of the body. And then see if you can drop that awareness down into the throat and the neck. Detaching from the jaw and experiencing the sensations and experience of the throat, of the neck, from the inside out. And see if you can realize there's no need to go back to thought to imagine this experience. This experience is present where it is, as it is. And now unhooking and moving down into the shoulders. Experiencing the sensation of skin and muscles. And once more, feeling this part of the body from the inside out. Experiencing as the shoulders, the front and the back of this part of the body, and within. And once again, inviting the realization that there's no need to think about this experience. This experience simply is, as it is. And now unhooking once again and settling awareness into the heart and the heart space. feeling this sensation, the center of the chest, breathing with this experience from within the body. And just resting here as best you can. Open awareness from the heart. The expansive, loving, infinite awareness. And again, inviting the awareness that this isn't an imagined sensation. This is simply the experience. Not checking back to thought or imagination. Simply being with. Allowing awareness from. And resting in this space, as this space. And just feeling the tone of this experience. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neither. And seeing perhaps if you can now experience the whole of the body in this same context, this same open, expansive, loving context of simple, open awareness. Nothing forced, nothing manipulated. Simply being as. Experience of the toes and the feet and the fingers and the hands, arms and legs, belly, the front of us, the back of us. All of the experiences within. Abiding with the self, just as best you can. And as we bring this practice to a close, perhaps invite yourself to keep this sense for as long as you can, keeping the awareness that you found. And so just become aware of the sounds around you, the sensations once again of sitting or lying, the experience of the body, the experience of the breath, any smell, any taste, any thoughts that you're now aware of. And whenever you're ready, taking all the time you need, just gently opening your eyes and orientating yourself And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, however you spend it. Thank you.